1-0. First place, Philadelphia Eagles. Hello, everybody. We are live at. That is Vince Quinn. That is Coach Gary. I'm John Barchin, and we have a myriad of folks to come celebrate a 1-0, 32-6 victory. Need a push. It's put me to the 31-13 blowout. I think it's to celebrate a lot of things, but mostly us being right. So, yeah, I mean, like, first thoughts right off the gate. Jalen Hurts, we told you. We told you, we told you, we told you. From his connection from Devontae Smith to Kenneth Gainwell being like the third down guy, I don't think that was a joke preseason. Vince was dead on. We were all dead on about this defensive line. I don't think we were dead on Hassan Ridgeway, like becoming sack leader after one game.
Crazy.
Hargrave shows up. There's a lot of slot between. Honestly, I was bored by some of this game in the third and fourth quarter, but instant takeaways. I'm ready to kick Jalen Hurts on the mouth.
Well, yeah, Hurts, Sirianni, again, oh my God, Javon Hargrave at the end of the game putting a couple of sacks together as well. It was everybody, John. That's the thing. Like, right now, I just put it out on Twitter just for the hell of it, see where people are at. We were arguing about it a little bit. Better game today, offense or defense. It's great to have that debate still after one game. You look at the score. The score tells you 32-6. 32-6 is a big deal. You take that for a week one, brand new team, unproven quarterback, all that different stuff. Greatly coached game.
Yep.
Very important to say. Great win for the Eagles.
Absolutely, Gary.
This is 100% a communal win, right? Everyone played well. It was wonderful to see. The sprint that we wanted to see, that track meet we all wanted to see, we saw it. Quez's speed's real. Rager's speed, let's guess, it's real. Devontae Smith can get open and, oh, wait. Shades of McNabb in the pocket. Jalen Hurts is very mobile and very dangerous when in the pocket and deadly accurate.
That is something that has been talked about Jalen Hurts all offseason, leading into his NFL debut, from leading into where it's going to be right now. I think overall, I don't need to know where Jalen Hurts is going to go. I think it's only up from here. Yes, there's going to be struggles like we saw today in between. I think that's pretty much that second-year rookie mentality, whatever it is. I would love to go see the tape, especially because here's the one critique that I will say is Bobby Dubs, player of the game, Jalen Hurts. Absolutely, no doubt about it.
Dude.
The one thing I'll say, and Bo Wolf had pointed this out in the press box, so I want to see it on the film. Quez Watkins wide open, pressure situations, something that Jalen Hurts carried last year. That was the only thing I was pretty much disappointed in a 32-6 win, is that you just have those big juice plays on first down. The vertical passing game, it looks a little scary at this point, and I think that's because of a combination of quarterback personnel and coach at this in the first game of this season.
No, so far, and for the big play that you had to Devontae Smith, I mean, they designed that well, right? So Devontae Smith goes down the field, Zach Ertz set a pick for him, they made the most of that, you get a touchdown, great play. But outside of that, not a whole lot of very aggressive football. A lot of passing game. I mean, you said it as soon as the game started. They're doing those bubble screens and all that.
Lots of bubbles.
No, lots of bubbles.
So, and for a little bit that was working. And if that's what you've got to do, like the creativity to say, all right, this is how we want to start things a little bit. We don't know how good these guys are.
Yeah.
Let's get the ball in their hands, a little space, a little blocking. That's fine. They're going to have to figure out the real passing game of this as things go. But to be efficient enough early, Jalen Hurts holding on to the ball, forced the ball here or there, was generally really good day. The passing game was good enough.
Yeah, passing game good enough. That's what I might take over.
It was frustrating that it was so horizontal, right? You want to see them get a little bit more vertical. I thought we'd see a lot more of that, especially with the speed that's been accumulated. But it doesn't matter. It ends in a win. And sometimes you just got to get the balls in the hands of your playmakers, Watkins and Rager. Sometimes you just got to get them the ball and let them get upfield. There's not a lot to complain about, but I'd like to see it get more vertical, and I'd like to see the offensive line clean some things up.
Especially with Lane Johnson.
Yeah, he's taking over for Jason Peters.
Yeah,
rough day for him.
Well, great day for him all around, but a rough day for sure with the penalties and all that. But, I mean, to me, does this die down some of the conversation about, having to draft a quarterback early? Are we still going to kind of wait a couple of weeks here? I mean, to me, this is a guy that I would continue to build around as much as possible. Like, I don't and that's kind of like hard to throw me off of a 2-year take. But like after if you can kind of keep doing these over and over again for 4 or 5 games in a row, it's going to be really hard to then suddenly go invest in a top-round quarterback or trade for Watson or whatever else happening at this point. I feel as though everyone might play in the next couple of weeks, but taking some quarterback conversation after week.
No, I mean, there's too many big games left, especially early in the season. I mean, for all these games coming up, like San Francisco blew the doors off of the Lions today. That matters. That's really significant. So you look at games like that, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, there's going to be a lot of high-quality football where Hurts is going to have to make plays, and he is going to have to force some throw and make some work. See how we lose game again, as we talked about in the pregame. If he's a game manager that can make a couple of things happen with his leg, and they let him do that, which they did. I mean, rolling him out in certain situations, like they used Hurts the right way. So at the very least, I'm believing that Sirianni's going to get the most out of him for whatever he is, and I'll take that.
And the one thing to remember here is you beat a bad football team. The Falcons are a bad football team. They're not a complete football team. They're an aging, transitioning football team. They went out and did what they were supposed to do. I know they were dogs in this game, which I still find interesting, but they went and they beat a bad football team. Listen, all I want is the success of Jalen Hurts. It's what I want. I'm not ready to say let's close the door on any other quarterback, but for right now, it's a 17-game interview, and I want to see every single snap go to Mr. Hurts.
Yeah. Yeah,
so I'm going to do this for 1 second, but I'm just saying I feel as though once you get past the 49ers, if that happens here.
It's the first 6 games. I've said this from the very beginning.
Yeah.
If you can get through the first 6 games being 500 or better, there's a clear path to division. Remember, we're in first place right now. I know it's 1 week, right? But the Washington football team didn't look overly great today. I know the Giants are going to lose. They stink. And Dallas is Dallas. Just manage those first 6 games. You can ride yourself right into the division after that.
Yeah, and it kind of felt like that a lot. Like you even suggested that at one point, Vince. This is kind of a managing Jalen Hurts type of thing, and it felt like Nick Sirianni's game plan was kind of heading into that. Again, with like the more horizontal passing, the not as much aggressive running as we thought with Miles Sanders early on, which is to me a good sign. But Nick Sirianni's day overall, what did you think of kind of putting that together?
Yeah, I thought he did a great job today. Because again, it's not even just recognizing the strength of Jalen Hurts and what he brings to the table, how best to use him, but also that's a big, nasty, physical team that is just bigger than stronger than Atlanta. And that's what they did. I mean, they did beat him up. Miles Sanders did look really good throughout the day. So to have the opportunity for the offensive line to really make things happen, for Sanders to get things going on the ground, you didn't need a major passing game. I mean, you just didn't need it. And for the ability between him and Gainwell, I mean, they put up 32 points.
Oh, absolutely.
They put up 32 points. It's a hell of a day.
If you're going to critique the running game, I think the one thing they lack is a little bit of that power running game. And it kind of showed a few times, especially on those 3rd and shorts, and they didn't get it. I think going for it when they could have gone up, I think it was by like 9 or something like that early on. Didn't need to do that. They get stuffed. It was Gainwell. It's interesting that he got almost every carry on 3rd down.
Yeah.
But the lack of a power running game is interesting. Jordan Howard's still in the practice squad. That may come at some point, but again, there's not a lot to complain about, but you have to critique because it's the Philadelphia Eagles and we're Eagles fans.
Well, yeah, and there's so many things that we have questions about. There's so many things we want to see happen over the course of this year. We have to learn so much about this team. So as we're learning and growing and seeing them do it all the same on the field, like these are good reference points. Like you said, I mean, it's an interview for everybody, essentially. It's a blank slate with this team. Like, you've got your old guys that are going to be retiring after this year. You've got a lot of young guys that haven't locked into their roles. How many people, and with contracts, like Zach Ertz could be gone, Goddard could be gone. Who can you say is like a legitimate, rock-solid, not going anywhere for the next 5 years kind of guy? Devontae Smith, and like that's it? I mean, really?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's pretty much it. Like it is up in the air, and there's going to be, obviously, like you were saying, Jalen, first 6 weeks, all eyes are on there. But to me, it's about emerging that second wide receiver today. I mean, they had Quez going pretty early. Pick him up in your fantasy league along with Kenneth Gainwell if you haven't done that already.
There you go.
Obviously. But the more and more that second wide receiver emerges. Jalen Reagor at the end there, that's the type of speed, and somebody pointed that out, and I forget who, and I apologize, but that is the Jalen Reagor highlight tape that we've kind of been waiting for this entire time. So if you can get Quez and Reagor going in those, it's pretty clear to this point, even going up against Atlanta, they're not going to get much separation just from a one-on-one like Devontae is, because he's the better route runner.
Yep.
But if you can start implementing something other than a bubble screen horizontally to these guys, you'll start to see the playbook roll out. I think Sirianni knows that too, and that's what we kind of saw today.
And it's got to be more of, again, that play that got Devontae Smith open for the touchdown. You're going to have to generate traffic and find ways to artificially manufacture that space. And if they can do that consistently enough with that speed, now things are going to happen.
Well, I think you're exactly right. I think Devontae Smith's going to have to establish himself to start creating hey, maybe he does need a double team. Maybe we do need to straight a safety.
Yeah.
When that happens, you're going to see these guys like Reagor and Watkins kind of, I think, explode and be able to get more one-on-ones. It was very horizontal. It's hard to take it. It's hard to be frustrated with anything today because it's a win, right? But it leaves you a lot to be desired with the second wide receiver. Both guys made plays, but they didn't make plays down the field. They caught it and had to run with it. It's just something to watch. It's something to watch over the next few weeks.
Yeah, and that is why you see Dallas Goedert having the day that he did. Zach Ertz with his blonde hair and a little bit of an injury in this one as well. Still came, I believe, back out for a snap or two, or maybe stayed on the sideline. I can't remember that. Let me know if I'm wrong on that. But Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders, really, really incredible games in the second half. Like, I thought they were They were able to break that open. The offensive line as well. Second half, I thought, did a lot better in terms of the run game. Not exactly sure, again, why they didn't go to that, considering Atlanta was one of the league. I thought more questions about Dallas Goedert and Miles Sanders in terms of what they can bring there. It's just very telling to me that Kenneth Gainwell is the automatic 2-minute guy, the automatic passing down guy. So I'm curious how that kind of develops. Maybe that's just for this week in particular, but what did you make of that? What did you make of the running backs, tight ends?
One of the things was, and we mentioned this before, or at least maybe off air, but all the same, talking about the running back depth chart, Boston Scott was listed as 2. That was not a thing. That did not happen.
Nope.
I don't even know if he played a snap, to be honest with you.
I don't think
so. So he was a non-factor. The fact that Gainwell was in there, he got the ball in that 3rd and 1 and scored.
Yep.
I mean, they really believe in this guy. And for him, he was reading the holes well. He was running strong out there for a guy of his size. Very encouraging performance for a guy in his rookie game.
And first up on a 4th down and 2 call, and not having Jordan Howard active and all that other stuff.
That really confused me with that. But it's good. 2 running backs is a nice thing. A 3rd running back would be nice. It was interesting that Scott basically got nothing at all today, and that's why I know you don't want to hear it, but I do think Jordan Howard will reemerge as a ball carrier on this team at some point.
Yeah.
Because Boston Scott, because of the ascension of Sanders and Gainwell, kind of rendered himself useless just because of the skill set. That's all I'm saying.
Well, if we get him down here to Villa Capri,
Jordan Howard,
he eats a couple of pizzas, then I'm willing to consider it.
Yes.
But lost weight Jordan Howard doesn't do it for us. Okay? He's got to put on the poundage. That is everything to me. He is a straight line north and south guy.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I don't even know if he would have picked up that first down either, to be honest with you. The line got pushed back completely. Yeah, it got a little predictable right around there. So those are things you want to see kind of rolling into weeks 2 and 3 that there's a little bit of improvement on. Coach Gary, just your biggest finalist takeaway from the game. We're going to have some other friends come and join us and just discuss with us as it's going along. And if you have any takes, 215-509-5833 as we'll read the best ones on the air.
Absolutely.
As we get done here. But Gary, biggest takeaway, and what do we need to know going into San Francisco?
My biggest takeaway is I just want to see more now. I have a little bit of a taste of what it could be, but I want to see more. I want to see that growth. I want to see more of the defensive line. I love the track of the defensive line, and I want to see a true wide receiver 2 emerge. That's really what I want to see.
Yeah.
I think it'll be very interesting to see a team like San Francisco coming to Philadelphia. It's a 1:00 game, so they're going to get the time change. I'm assuming the Eagles will be home dogs. I'm going to say plus 2.5.
Love that.
The opening line. I love the Eagles. I think 2-0 is a real possibility. I just need to see growth on what we saw today, more of a vertical passing game, and continue to build that depth.
I think that's great, and if that is true, anything plus 2.5 If you're into that and you're a gambler, take it immediately.
Absolutely.
And right now, because I think there's another win coming at home. That is Coach Gary. You can follow him at Coach Gary PHL on the Twitter and pretty much everywhere else too.
Thank you so much.
Go grab Clifford Sykes and tell him to get his butt up here.
Yeah,
So
let's get Cliff in here.
Overall, let's fight about it. Offense had the better day, clearly the better unit. I know the 6 points are there, but the coverage was good. Everything else just seemed preseason,
Look,
pedestrian-y.
Cliff, get in here, Cliff. Take a seat. All right. Look, and Cliff, you'll split the tie on this for us.
Yes,
all right.
yes.
So here's the thing. John's been arguing the defense or the offense had a better day today. Now I'm all in on the defense, and the reason for that is they were soft in the middle early. The linebackers were getting crushed. The run defense was bad. They had a lot of problems. And you see Atlanta go down the field. They held. Part of that's Atlanta choking, but they held. They held. And
Classic
ultimately, to walk out of a day where you only give up 6 points to a professional football team is an accomplishment. The coverage and the job that they did, 60 pass yards today, it.
Yeah.
About Calvin Ridley, we talked about Kyle Pitts, not a factor, either of those guys. So the whole team to lock it down the way that they did, super encouraging performance. Defensive line got after it late in the game like they're supposed to. This is what Eagles football is supposed to be, and they got the job done.
Agreed. Definitely go with that one. If I can, first and foremost.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good
ladies and
evening.
gentlemen. I go by the name of Clifford Sykes, a.k.a. the Uptown Supervillain. I'm tapping in. Checking in with Bell and the Birdmen.
If you could show it off. Driving in the right lane.
In the right lane,
Great
yes.
podcast
Thank you
for
having
everybody.
me in, gentlemen.
Of course.
Guys. For me with this game and what we saw, it's kind of what me and my co-host Barney, the pusher, the Uptown Realtor right
say
here.
what's up, Barney.
This handsome man right here.
There you go.
We talked about. Our X factor, like we talked about, was going to be the defense. Control the line of scrimmage, the pace, dictating, not being reactive, but being proactive to what we wanted to do. We dictated to the Falcons. The Falcons had no answer for us.
Yeah.
It was almost as if like Mr. Gannon knew what he wanted to do, and we executed it. Everything was awesome from my perspective.
Man.
Everything was awesome.
Everything is awesome. Everything is
Great move.
do you think awesome today? This is the wonderful other co-host that you just mentioned here.
And we'll move you over.
Yeah. But no, like I thought it was incredibly sloppy despite the points. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say something. I thought the whole offense was stagnant for large chunks. Large chunks. Defense too. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. There you go.
Closer.
Is it off? Is it off? It is off. There you go. They didn't hear a word you said.
Testing. Mic check.
But
This is why you just come out to Villa
that's
Capri
right.
and watch it live.
But in basic fashion, they should have ran the ball more earlier.
They should have ran the ball more earlier. And I think they will commit more to the run in for future games. But in my opinion, they need to commit to the ball, run the ball early often.
Yeah.
And that will basically set up the pass in run game. So.
Yeah, I completely disagree. I just think that they actually need a vertical passing game. I hate establishing the run. I always have, and they didn't. They didn't do it in the first half. I just think if there was some extra umph, which I do agree with, they didn't do what Vin said, which is they weren't aggressive out the jump, and I was expecting that.
Yeah.
It flowed okay. Yeah, for sure. So, what's the next benchmark for you guys? I guess in this one, like I think there's plenty to kind of work on, but what's a sure thing that came out of this game for you?
The sure thing I think is that Jalen Hurts has proved that he can be a starting quarterback in this league. That was the biggest thing I was worried about. What Jalen Hurts are we going to get? Are we going to get improvement from last year? And you definitely saw it. You saw a quarterback who was poised in the pocket. You saw a quarterback who could adjust, read the defense, and run the ball when he needs to run.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Jalen Hurts is going to. You see a lot of Jalen Hurts through his legs this year. So.
Definitely, and I think that's okay. I don't. Like I was saying earlier, there's maybe some throws that he missed that were deep.
Shout out to Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith had, 8 targets this game?
Yes.
9 targets?
Yes.
6 catches.
6
Yeah.
catches?
So like 6 for 71 and a touchdown. It's a great day.
Can't beat
So I'm
that.
just saying, like, that was a home run hit right there. That was a good draft pick. So
Yeah, and Cliff, we'll go right to there. Devontae Smith, you two, like, absolutely solidified that guy's going to be a problem for now and hopefully for the next 5 to 10 years.
Definitely number one.
Yeah.
Looked at position, ran the routes, everything looked good from that kid. From me, it's about Nick Sirianni. The adjustments we saw with that first drive where we ran bubble screen left, bubble screen right, we set the defense up, knockout punch going to Devontae Smith.
Yep.
I liked everything I saw from Sirianni except for going into the second half. I agree with running the ball because we're a team. We have to understand in order to ball, you have to have guys trust. You have to have guys you can trust running the routes. There's
Right.
a reason why we didn't see Rager. There's a reason why we didn't see Quez walk into certain packages. They're young guys. It's a new offense. You got to figure it out. So we had to maintain some type of control and the time of possession, which you saw at the end.
Yep.
We literally kicked their ass in time of possession. And also, what was the balance, Barney? What was the pass run ratio?
35 passes, 31 rushes. There you go.
Balance.
Yeah.
Nothing but balance. And if you want to win in football, in the NFL, you have to be balanced.
Well, I disagree completely.
We know you disagree.
like always.
We know you do.
But
you don't want to run the ball.
But I feel like a lot of great stepping stones. To your point, I mean, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Well, I don't think the tattoo is coming now.
No, it doesn't look good for the tattoo.
He started, for
He got
10,
snaps
12.
early. Early in a lot of those packages, he was on the field. I feel like later you didn't see him as much, which, whatever.
To be expected.
Fine.
But that's exactly towards your point. If you don't even trust Jalen Rager to come out there in the first few 15 snaps that you've had planned for God knows how long. That's I would say I would have been a little worried if there he is. He shows up.
Look at that.
That's right, everybody. Right here. Right here. You just remember this face
TCU, baby.
for a long time and realize I'm not Justin Jefferson, but I can score touchdowns. The Eagles locker room is a party right now. Is that true?
Chemistry,
Is that true,
baby.
Kyle? Our
Chemistry.
Producer Kyle Bennett on site is letting us know that it's going nuts. And that's the one thing that I will say. The chemistry isn't bullshit.
No.
Nick Sirianni's rah-rah speeches, the whole, everyone's rallying around Jalen Rager, attitude. How many how many high fives and combinations of high fives did we see between QB and coach today? And everybody,
Still. You know what I mean? The first of the month, rent's due, and we just paid up. So.
Rent has been paid in full. Someone in the comments said that. Couldn't agree more. Yeah, rent has been paid in full today. The next thing you need to do is go subscribe to Driving in the Right Lane with Cliff and Barney. It's hilarious. I'm on there sometimes. Taylor's on there sometimes. Vince is on there sometimes. If you like sports and you like talking ish, that is where you need to go.
Tap in
for
with us,
sure.
please. Tap in.
Thank you, gentlemen, as always.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Always a pleasure, guys.
We will tap in the great Bobby Dubs because he's got some celebrating.
Yeah, we got to follow up on his
to do as well. Shout out your handles real quick.
Check me out on Instagram. It's CliffyBaby215. You got questions for the podcast, hit me up on drivingintherightlane@gmail.com. I'm tapping out.
Woohoo!
There
he is, the man of the hour.
And I am Barney, a.k.a. the Uptown Realtor, a.k.a. Pusher Steen. You can find me at the Uptown Realtor on Instagram or at Pusher Steen on Instagram.
There it is.
If you need any real estate advice also, you can email me at realestate@barneyperson.com. I got the hookup. Holla if you hear me.
There you go. You love to see it. And now we go to Dubs, big day for you, pal.
Big day for Bobby Dubs, everybody.
Did I not say that Jalen Hurts was going to go off? Did I not tell you how bad the Falcons' pass defense is?
Here he
goes.
goes. Playing the part of Jalen Hurts is Matt Maratea.
See, Jalen came to celebrate with me. He knew I had his back. He knew I knew what I was talking about. I told you the pass defense was suspect. One of the worst in the league last year.
Yep.
They give up the most passing touchdowns. They give up big plays in chunks. That's what happens. The defense is pathetic, and I saw it, and I told you that was going to happen. I said in my head he's going to get you 300 total yards, at least 2 touchdowns, and that's what happened.
That is exactly what happened. Are you, along with me, you good on Jalen Hurts? Do you need to see more?
I don't need anything else. I'm good. I can hitch my well, and we can go.
I love it.
Buying all the Jalen Hurts stock. Getting in at the bottom.
What was your biggest takeaway other than Jalen Hurts
My
in this
biggest takeaway was Sirianni and his coaching play into his players' strengths. You don't see that a lot with coaches. Coaches want to be the smartest guy in the room. But he says, hey, I got a bunch of guys who are quicker than your guys. I'm going to get them the ball in space. I'm going to get them the ball quickly. And then let them do what they do with their different attributes. He did that. You saw a lot of screens, a lot of quick passes, a lot of catches. That then had a bunch of yards after the catch. That's what Sirianni is doing. You can see it. It's going to be like that all season. He's going to play to these players' strengths. You saw it with Jalen Reagor, who last year we made a big fuss, but you got him the ball in space. You give him those little swings, and look what he did. He got you 6 catches, 50 yards, a touchdown. I'm ready to forget Justin Jefferson even exists.
which I did. I think he forgot to exist today, at least a little bit against the Bengals.
Which you get into.
Yeah, Dubs made a great point, and not that he normally doesn't. He always makes great points.
That is true.
That's what I do as long as I keep the mic close to me.
That's right.
Right here.
Vince and I were talking about during the game, and this is the first coach in NFL history that actually built a system around what he has in the locker room. Coaches tell you that all of the time. Jim Schwartz is notorious for saying that, and it couldn't be further from the truth.
No.
Every offensive coach that you know says, I don't know what kind of system I'm running until I have the players. They're all full of shit. Nick Sirianni might not be full of shit.
Exactly.
That's
he isn't. He
incredible to me.
isn't.
And just
He
look
said,
on the field.
This guy does this guy does that. I'm going to put them in a position to do what they do.
Yes.
It's that simple.
It worked.
It works. It works really, really well.
32-6.
Why try to put a square peg in a round hole if it doesn't fit? Too many coaches are trying to do it. Sirianni's like, no.
Yes.
Get me a square peg, and a square hole.
That's all
Figure
we're
it
looking
out.
for.
Yeah.
And if they find 9 of them, then, like we said, the division's pretty clear and soon.
Well, hold on, guys. I mean, he did have that press conference when he got introduced, so clearly he can't do the
You know
job.
what he's talking about.
So let's get this
You know
game
what?
and just forget about it.
You know what? I'll defend the press conference. Bad. It's still today a bad
was
press conference.
terrible.
It's bad. It still doesn't determine if you can coach or not.
Doesn't matter.
Exactly.
You ever seen a Belichick presser?
Yeah, they're all useless.
Yes, they're all useless
the most
garbage.
part.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
I
matter.
rather a guy stammer instead of making a point than a guy who sits there and stone faces me and
Yes.
gives me nothing.
Yeah, he cares about the job. Good.
From one coordinator to the other. Jonathan Gannon, his first go. Again, I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
Thought it was. I don't think he's built a system around, whatever they're trying to do. It's just the same thing with the Eagles defense, and I think it's just more personnel. It's the middle.
Yeah.
It's the middle. It's never the front. It's never the back. It's just the middle. There isn't a large changeover in today's defense from what they have right now.
No, they're soft in the middle. That is clear. They're going to have to figure that out. That's going to be a problem. But I like that they were playing aggressive. I mean, you saw a number of people up at the line.
I was going to go, Vince. They, on the defensive line, you saw Gannon didn't take his foot off the pedal. I was aiming it at the bar. He's blood in the water. He said, go. Pin your ears back and get at him. The second half was an entire onslaught by that defensive line. No points in the second half of that game.
Yes.
They were outscored. I think it was something like 17-0. So when they saw they had him back on their heels, he attacked. That's what you do. You don't lay off like Jim Schwartz would.
Yeah.
You don't start getting in the sticks and just like, okay, we'll stand by the marker and let that beat in front of you. He didn't do that. He said, I'm going after him.
Yep.
We got him on the run. Get after his ass. Good job, Gannon.
I feel like we're all missing something from this, but we're not. It was just a cruising big lull between like the first and third and part of the fourth quarter, and just two teams trying to figure each other out. Two first-time head coaches trying to figure out their players and stuff like that. The wonderful Jason Lee from PHL 17 waving
real quick,
goodbye and
just
saying hello.
wait for the people to start pal Jason Lee from
there it
PHL
is.
17.
If you're not,
Vince Quinn. Is it really you, Vince Quinn? Oh, my God.
It's Vince Quinn.
It's me.
Barchard.
it is.
Hey, John, I got to tell you, I have so missed the what's going on.
Thank you, brother.
I love it. I love it.
I missed it too.
Can you give me another one?
What's going on, Jason Lee?
There you go.
See, I think we can start making personalized "What's going on" messages to everybody. I think that'd be great.
I think you're onto something there. Hey,
Bring it down,
7:45 tomorrow morning. I hear you're going to be on television.
I will be on television.
All right, cool. Vince Quinn, PHL 17. Tune in tomorrow morning.
Look at that.
There you have it.
Look at that.
Look at that.
If this is not enough analysis here, they can watch you on TV.
There you go. We always need more.
And by the way, Jason, tell people where they can watch your TV show.
You know what's so funny? I just realized something. I'm looking at the laptop you have and not looking at the camera. And I'm supposedly in television for a living.
it's a little smaller than what you're used to working with, so
Yeah,
we understand.
Friday nights at 11:30. Brand new show, The Sports Scene on PHL 17. We debuted this past Friday night.
Awesome.
I thought it went pretty well. Hopefully it gets better next week. We'll see what happens.
Oh, it gets better each week, baby. That's how it goes. Jason, good to see you, my friend.
And of
Thanks
course,
for coming out.
And I don't disagree. Vince does have a great face for TV, so other than the 20 people in the Birdmen that don't.
Thank you. Okay, I'm a gorgeous man.
There it is.
That's all you need to know.
Oh, Kyle Bennett is dripping into the screen here, and he doesn't realize it. Does he realize it? I don't know if he does or not. But there you go.
Hey, thanks, Jason.
Thanks, Jason. PHL 17. See Vince Quinn tomorrow there at 7:45.
Yep.
He's getting up
Bright
early,
and early.
folks.
Make sure you check that out.
Dubs, I know you've got some stuff to give away, and this is at the end of the day where, like, everyone, Dubs is putting together a hell of a basket for the end of each game.
Yeah. Like,
You're not here at
I'd
Villa
like to
Capri.
congratulate Bob
Hey,
for
Bob.
winning the Dubs, dude.
All right. Bob won it down at the end of the bar.
Bob at the end of the bar won the Dubs, dude.
Eagles
Swag
hats,
bag,
shirts.
shirts.
I mean,
solid socks.
Yeah. Couldn't even believe that Bobby Dub's doing all that stuff. So come on out for that. We have got a bonus podcast for you after this as well. So if you're listening on the replay, continue to do so as well. We are going to hand it off to the wonderful, the beautifully dressed, the post-game of all post-game shows that you are going to learn as well live from our Last Out Media Studios, which we can't hear right now. So
we can't.
the most wonderful transition to the nosebleeds, and it is going to be essentially our fifth quarter live pregame show right in our studio with these guys, uber talented fellas, like to have a lot of fun, and we hope you enjoy them just as much. For Bobby Dubs, for Matt Maritera, for Vince Quinn, I'm John Barchard. This has been the post-game show at Villa Capri, live here on Bell and the Birdmen. Boys, take it away from Last Out Media Studios.
Thank you, Johnny B.
Gotta follow that
Can
up.
anybody even hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. The
Hear you
Eagles,
loud and clear.
the Eagles have won a ball game, a football game.
It's
and it was,
unbelievable.
hold on. You know what the final score was? I'll tell you. It was 32-6. Okay, Taylor, can you hear me? Am I on? Because you're looking like a mime back there with your beard.
I was doing the Eagles wave.
But that was not an Eagles wave, but whatever.
Show me an Eagles
We
wave.
are week 1, baby, and I look really fat on camera. I'm looking at myself on the camera, but that's neither here nor there. But guess what? The Birds win.
They're undefeated.
The Birds
17-0
win.
is on the table, people.
17-0
It's there.
is certainly on the table. You know what else is on the table? Devontae Smith, MVP of the league, is on the table.
Hey,
It's gonna happen.
It's going to happen.
For those
So real
listening
quick,
and watching that didn't hear my hot take I give on our podcast, Jalen Hurts to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
Week 1,
100%.
still
I think-
alive, baby.
listen, I
it's
think-
alive. It's well.
I think Jalen
It's
Hurts
thriving.
It's
is
thriving.
Jalen Hurts may be top 5 quarterback in the league.
So real quick, let's take a second to introduce ourselves. We didn't even
Oh, yeah,
introduce
that's true.
ourselves.
I'm Seamus Anthony Joseph Doyle the first.
And your social, of course.
And my social security number is from the nosebleeds. That's what it is.
So we
It's
are
a letter.
from the From the Nosebleeds podcast here at Last Out.
Yes, we are.
It's a great
And we
little
are
program.
proud-
We do it
we
Tuesday
are proud
nights.
of this show.
And I'm Patrick O'Leary.
My
This
name is Vincent Lobiondo.
Vicente.
That's
I know.
Taylor behind the glass,
I'm
TK
Seamus.
behind the glass.
Hey, TK
They know
behind
him.
the glass. He's the bald producer. You got to have a producer who's bald.
It's
you
facts.
Can't, you can't
if they
trust.
have hair, you
If
can't
they have
trust
hair, they're not a good producer. They don't know how to touch buttons or something like that. Is that right, Taylor?
That is facts.
Cool. Awesome.
Okay,
Thanks for
so
chiming in.
my number one takeaway from this game, and I just want to put this out there, and I made sure we can cuss on here. Jalen Hurts can throw the fucking ball.
Wait a minute.
He
can throw the
fucking
ball.
wing it.
Wait.
Let's put it to.
Barchard cursed about 30 times.
That's
you
true.
can curse.
Well,
It's
I'm
okay.
not Barchard.
No, you certainly aren't
I'm
John
just-
Barchard.
I'm Vince, and not Quinn.
That's true.
But no, that's my main takeaway. Jalen Hurts can throw the ball.
He can throw the ball.
And it's
Absolute
time to put
dimes.
all those doubters to bed that said this guy's arm and his accuracy is questionable because, I mean, at least today he looked great.
Hey, O'Leary, how about all those national writers not even ranking Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, that was a disgrace. from the
I
beginning.
love it. I think it's awesome, dude. Because guess what? He goes
you know
out
what,
there today.
You know what underdogs do? They're hungry dogs.
Hungry
what
dogs
do hungry
run
dogs
faster.
do?
We learned this in 2017.
I don't want to talk
Hungry
about
dogs run
2017 right now.
faster.
This is a different squad. I don't want to.
No, I
like,
know.
Brandon Graham.
No, but it's still the same people that said hungry dogs run faster.
Yeah, but you know what Brandon Graham said recently? He
was
said
that?
2017 vibes. And I ripped him for that at first because it was like week 1 of training camp, and I'm like, don't
I mean,
say
you can see that
Dude,
with
don't say that.
the celebration in the locker room.
But now, as we saw a peek into the Eagles locker room, Taylor, did you see that?
Absolutely gorgeous.
I mean,
love
they're popping champagne. Just like the Phillies won a couple weeks when they win the NL East. No, I'm
Yeah,
just
okay.
kidding. I'm joking. That's a joke. I had to get the Phillies in there
Yeah.
for like a smidge,
Had
even though
to.
they just lost to the Rockies, but that's fine. But seriously, overall,
That's fine.
offense. Besides Hurts,
I mean, Devontae.
Devontae
that's
looks
my number 2
fantastic.
takeaway.
that's
here.
your
Devontae.
MVP of the league right there.
So obviously, I
That's
did a
Vince's
I did a
guy.
live stream in this very studio on draft night wearing a Devontae Smith Alabama jersey. I wanted him. My
by
wishes
the way,
came
how
true.
much did you pay for that?
It's fake.
It's all
DHD.
right. You got it from
Come
China.
on,
That's
come
fine.
on, dude. I'm smart.
We don't encourage counterfeit.
We don't
we don't
encourage it.
No, but here's the thing.
Allegedly. But no, Devontae looks great. He looks exactly like the guy that we drafted. Like he looks like a stud. His route running is good. I mean, he got wide open on that touchdown. He's fast.
I think Vince made a great point, by the way. This is like unrelated, sort of. But he was talking about the Sirianni opening press conference, right? When everyone ripped him because he can't
Over a fucking press conference.
because he can't speak coherently, I guess,
Yeah,
when he's
I
in
mean-
front of a podium. Who gives a shit?
As long as
You're
can
not
coach.
hired to. You're not hired to. All right, technically, you're hired to talk to the media. That's in your contract, but it doesn't matter
Right.
how well you do it, and that doesn't determine how well you coach.
It was
Vince also brought up a great point. What do you ever get out of Bill Belichick?
That's true.
Like,
Nobody. Yeah,
it's
but,
it's,
all right.
it's like one word answers, and he sits there. He's like, "Yep, we got to do better."
But
At the same time, if Belichick was like a shitty coach, he would get ripped for his pressers,
I know.
obviously.
Yeah.
the last terrible opening press conference we've seen though was Adam Gase with the Jets when he had those like
Yeah.
crazy eyes going.
Crazy eyes.
That was
that's true.
insane.
That's true.
What about the college coach? I always forget his name. I'm a man. I'm 40. What the hell
Oh,
is his
from
name?
Oklahoma
Yes,
State.
the guy from Oklahoma State.
Yeah,
he's
that
got to
guy.
be over
But
40 by now.
While we're on Sirianni, I mean, I'll say one thing. There were significantly less amount of times today that I said, "What the hell was that play call?"
I think you only said it once.
I
the
did
entire
say I
game.
said
I
it
think you
once
said
on
it
one of those
twice.
screen. No, I said it once on that one screen.
Yeah, early in
Didn't
the
understand that, but listen, Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl, loved him. I probably said, "What the fuck was that play call?" At least
10
5
times
a game.
per game.
Like
I
it was a
would say.
lot.
It was.
It was absurd last year, especially because I mean, like half the time he'd get the run game going, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, let's just throw the ball.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
such
let's
a breath
just forget
of
Miles
fresh
Watching
air.
Sirianni do his personalized handshake with Jalen might
Oh
have
my
been my
God.
favorite thing I've
Orgasmic.
seen in my whole life.
Orgasmic.
Like I love that.
Orgasmic.
I love that
Orgasmic.
connection. You love the chemistry you see between basically not a rookie quarterback, a new starter and a new head coach.
Well, isn't he
Yeah.
technically a rookie, Taylor?
No,
No,
No?
Last year
Okay.
he's not Ben
rookie year.
Simmons.
I don't know. I don't know what's happening, dude.
I really thought we could make it through this whole thing without once mentioning Ben Simmons. But
We'll save it for Tuesday.
Or the Phillies, by
yeah,
the
we'll
way.
save it.
We managed. Wait a minute. We managed to mention both the Phillies and Ben Simmons in the Eagles post-game show after a 32-6 rout.
Kenny Gainwell.
he looked great.
He very good.
Not the saxophone player.
No, not Kenny G.
Not Kenny G, the saxophone player from Philadelphia.
Kenny
the
G.
new, the better, the
yeah.
more improved
The
Kenny
n-
G.
All right, Kenny G 2.0. Let's call him that. Yeah, all right.
just calling
Last
Kenny
week
G.
on the show, From the Nosebleeds, by the way, you got to check us out on From the Nosebleeds. But O'Leary, you were talking about Gainwell. You were saying that he could be an impact player this season. What did he do today?
He made an impact.
Yeah,
Made
he
an
Exactly what
impact!
he
He
needed him
showed
to
that
do.
that statement is 100%
Hey,
true.
60 more of those. and
I
we're in
might have been
business.
joking around with it last week, but I mean, I really do believe the kid can be good. He made some great reads. He had a little stumble there on one of the runs. That's okay. He didn't get the first down on it. But that touchdown was phenomenal. You just saw the Red Sea part,
That was
and he
beautiful.
just went right up the
Yeah,
middle.
I
for
think
10
Vince
yards.
said it earlier. He was just finding the holes well.
Yeah,
Like he knew where to go.
great vision.
And it was interesting at times to see them go with him over Sanders in certain situations.
Yeah, especially with that 2 minutes.
But I mean, that's a great 1-2 punch.
Mm-hmm.
And I do agree how they were saying that this kind of looks like Jordan Howard may resurface on this
yeah,
roster.
he's got to put weight back on,
because,
just like they said.
like,
Now, Vince is not a fan of skinny Jordan Howard. Vince Quinn.
I'm just not a fan of Jordan Howard.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I was going to say I'm not a fan of Jordan Howard. Period.
But like,
I don't care if he's.
I can see why he would come onto the roster because Boston Scott's role has been filled by Kenny Gainwell.
And Boston
it's
Scott
like-
didn't even get in this game.
No, he didn't
today.
have a
which
single
honestly
snap.
I was fine with.
I was
the
fine
only
with
time,
it.
the only time I ever want to see that man play is against the Giants, because that's the only time he's ever good.
Like I
so
said,
you know what?
If the Eagles play the Giants every week, Boston Scott's a first ballot
Hall
Hall
of
of
Famer.
Famer
Yeah, easily.
legend. Build a statue
Easily.
now.
Also on the offense, I mean, the offensive line, they're back. They're all healthy right now. Knock
Great
on wood
sight,
here.
Great sight.
Little bit flag heavy on
Yeah,
them.
I think it was. I mean,
false starts.
I think they're shaking off.
Saymalu was loading up on false starts.
Yeah, you know what, man? About Sayamalu, dude. I'm not a fan of his. Honestly, I could do without.
I mean, he's
Sayamalu.
probably the weakest link on that line.
He's
I mean,
the weakest link on the line, but I'm not trying to be negative
newly
today.
extended Jordan Mailata had himself quite a game.
Killed
He
it
looked
today.
very good.
And he
it.
deserves every penny.
He fucking pancaked someone on that Jalen Reagor touchdown.
beautiful, man.
Speaking of which,
That was
Jalen
great.
Reagor breakout season incoming, baby.
Oh, it's
That.
gonna happen.
How
It's
about a
gonna
Pro
happen.
Bowl year for Rager? How about that? How about
All right,
that?
all right. I'll take it.
How about
Honestly,
that?
Hey, you know what? I'll take everybody. I will take every receiver on the Eagles being in the Pro Bowl this year. I think it's gonna happen.
Even Whiteside. That's your boy.
All right. Well, no,
yeah,
no, no.
yeah,
Let's,
dude,
no.
you love
That's
Whiteside.
a little bit of a stretch. There.
I think you have a Whiteside jersey, but you just won't wear
J-Jaw?
it outside. Yeah,
No, his
J-Jaw.
cousin gave me one when he gave me an Uber ride.
That is true. Patrick O'Leary once was in an Uber, and the Uber driver was his cousin.
Yeah, it was unfortunate because
And
all I
by
wanted to do.
the way, he was embarrassed to even mention
Pro
who it
Bowl
was.
Reagor, there it is.
He was embarrassed to mention
took me-
who the person he was related to
I had
was.
to really extract it from him. I felt like I was in a CIA torture chamber, and I was on the end that was making him tell me information. It was
Honestly,
very
dude,
bizarre.
honestly, man, I wouldn't even bought it up if I was him.
No, I like
That's like an
That's information you keep to yourself.
the only
you
reason
keep
we
that
got
to
on it is I
yourself.
was wearing an Eagles jersey.
Oh, that's true.
And he's talking to me. He's like, "Yeah, what do you think of Wentz? All this kind of stuff." And I'm like, "He sucks. Most of the receivers suck right now."
Wentz looked pretty good today, though.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he
okay.
looks amazing.
He
That's
looks-
a good quarterback.
But no, while we're on the
got a good foot.
while we're on the topic of pass catchers, like we said, Jalen Reagor in incoming breakout season. The tight ends looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Goddard
and
But
Ertz.
Dallas Goddard, baby.
Ertz got hurt. I think.
So
right?
I think he
towards
just
the
like
middle
I
of the
think he
game.
tweaked his hammy or something.
I think like
he
Barton
came back
said
on.
he came back in.
came back
the
on.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely
did
came
play.
back.
Dallas's touchdown. What a throw and catch.
Oh my god, that was
I
fantastic.
mean, he put that on a string, and it was a great catch by Dallas.
I think
They-
Dallas is going to have a big year, man.
Oh, 100%.
If Dallas is
I
going to
mean,
have a big
he
year.
already had a pretty great year last year, and that was his rookie
Yeah.
year. He can only go
He's
up
got
from
a
there.
legit. I mean, if Jalen Hurts is going to be this good, he's got a chance to be like
Yeah.
a top 3 tight end
Easily.
numbers wise.
Easily.
I have him on one of my fantasy squads, but I also have Ryan Fitzpatrick as a starting quarterback on my other fantasy squad. I got screwed. I'll explain later, but
We'll explain on Tuesday.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Apparently, he broke his hip or something, so that's
Yeah.
my luck in fantasy.
An interesting takeaway also is Quez Watkins. So he had 3 catches for 23 yards, but like they all came on the first drive.
Yeah,
Like,
they didn't. I feel like
They were
they just
feeding
kinda,
him, and then they went away from it.
Yeah, I feel like they just kind of wanted to put some emphasis on him because it's probably a guy you don't really study in film as much.
Yeah.
Because he's a younger receiver. He hasn't really gotten much time. There's probably not a lot of film on him to begin with. So why not throw him out there, see what he can do?
Seamus, why don't you go ahead and read that screen?
What the hell am I reading? What does it say?
No one cares about Seamus's fantasy
I
team.
care about you. Who said that?
All right, shut up.
I care about my fantasy team.
That's great.
And guess what? Fitzpatrick is coming back week 2 through what? How many games are there this year? 30 or something? 17? He's going to be great for the rest of the season.
On the other side of the ball,
I care about my goddamn fantasy team.
on the other side of the ball, the
Go
defense
Birds,
was interesting.
They took a little while to get started.
Yeah,
I
they did.
think the D line really ramped it up, especially in the second
The
half.
secondary, the tackling in the first half was
It was pretty
very,
bad.
very
It was
Dude,
rough.
the tackling, in the first half, like, these dudes don't know how to tackle. And they either know how to tackle or they're lazy. I don't know what it is, but I feel like every year with the Eagles, we talk about them not knowing how to tackle. And
Yeah.
it's going to be extremely frustrating going forward.
What frustrated me at one point was that one Kyle Pitts reception for a first down, I think it was. Steven Nelson was covering him. And it's like, why the hell would you
Yeah.
put somebody that's that short on a guy that's a
Yeah,
fucking
future Hall of Famer
beast?
Kyle Pitts.
But
Let me
Yeah.
tell you.
But like it's seeing just like the height differential right there, and Steven Nelson actually got a good tackle on him. I was surprised.
Yeah.
He was obviously the second defender to actually go after him because there was a little bit of blown coverage there. But it sucked to see because it's like, oh my god, this dude is a monster. He is an
Yeah.
absolute monster. Imagine if we had him on this.
He's
team.
an athletic freak.
I hate like thinking about that, like wishing we had other players.
Oh, yeah.
because like that happens with like
Welcome to
with
Philadelphia.
Every
Yeah.
team in this city. I wish I had this guy. I wish I had a player that's similar or almost as half as good as that player is. trashing Philadelphia's own Kyle Pitts. Damn right I am.
Because he doesn't play.
I said, all right, whatever, dude. I'm not even.
Anyway,
I'm getting a lot of hate today.
The D line looked great.
I'm getting a lot of hate, but guess what? At St. Seamus, like go in my mentions. I'd rather do that so I can block you.
You had Hargrave with 2 sacks, Ridgeway with a sack.
Great.
I mean, constant pressure from the D line. That D line is going to be a special unit.
It's scary.
Got
They
Sweat.
are scary.
I
would not want to go up against those guys, especially being a rookie tackle like the Falcons had today. He got fucking baptized.
BG had a big fucking hit on Mike Davis in the first quarter, I think it was, and me and Pat went crazy for that.
Oh my God, that was just phenomenal because you get to see like how beastly that D line can really be today. I think. Obviously it's a little bit worse.
You have
of
to
a
let
team.
the people know. At one point, see, Patrick O'Leary is very crazy when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles. Watching the games live in person in particular, he's crazy.
Yeah.
He goes nuts.
It was quite an experience, my first time.
He is like your stereotypical 700 Club Eagles fan, like going crazy and throwing shit
Pat
all over
does
the
like
place.
TL, breaking news.
He does. And at one point today, he was never calm during the entire game. Like as soon as kickoff happened, he was like screaming. Just screaming out of control because that's how he is.
Not to mention when Jalen Reagor.
But guess what? I'm getting there.
No, go ahead.
I'm getting there. At one point,
I like to talk about
he
that.
is shotgunning a beer.
No, ready? No,
shotgunning.
I have to explain the
It's
story
unbelievable.
behind
This guy's out of control.
Right where he sits right now.
When
He's like an
Reagor,
Eagles mummer.
when Reagor was drafted last year, my friend and I looked at each other and we were like, for every touchdown now, we're gonna have to do Jaeger bombs because Jalen Reagor, it's a Reagor bomb. So we started doing that. We only did it like probably 2 or 3 times last year. I don't even remember how many touchdowns he had.
Yeah,
I just remember the first one, but it was incredible because literally we all just got around, took shots. So you know what? I said to myself, we got to start.
From the nosebleeds, we promote responsible drinking.
Of course. But
coming from him, yeah, sure.
The first thing I think to myself is, all right, well, we got to bring this tradition into the last out this year, especially if we're doing this show.
Yeah, last year you probably didn't get much use out of it.
No, none at all. I think we should start having a tradition where at the end of every game, if Jalen Reagor got a touchdown, we all just chug a beer together.
I'm totally down for that. I'm just saying, week 1, he goes crazy. He's shotgunning beers and everything else. Can you imagine, like, midway through the season what the hell's going to be happening in the studio? By the way, drink responsibly, Pat. They're talking to you. Even though Vince, has his issues if you listen to the show.
My mother agrees.
If you listen to the show, Vince has some,
Yeah, we'll dive way deeper into our alcoholism on the show, so make sure you listen.
Yeah.
We're giving you a little sneak peek of what goes on in here, though, but it's pure fun. As Vince is choking on his liquid death.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That's ironic.
By the way,
it?
liquid death, by the way, almost killed Vince, but it is a great water.
What did you guys think of the decision to go for it on 4th down those 2 times, I believe it was?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like,
the second time, there was.
I
no
wasn't a
need for
fan
it.
of the first. The second one, I was like, this is dumb.
Yeah, but the second one was extremely dumb. It was extreme. You gotta
I
take,
get it.
You
I
gotta
guess.
take
Longer,
the points
too.
there.
It was 4th and 2 both times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the second time, dude, you have to take the points.
Take the points.
No,
Yes,
I love it.
Yes.
I
No,
do.
No.
I
Always
did
go
love
for
the
it.
decision to go for the 2-point conversion after a penalty. I mean, if you're gonna, what is it, at the 1 yard line, you have to go for 2.
Yeah.
Taylor just
100%.
said, "Always go for it," and then nobody just responded to that.
Every 4th and 2, go for it. Yes.
No, absolutely not.
So the problem is, I think we're a little scarred by Doug Peterson doing that a little too much. But honestly, I think a lot of that.
Well,
with
Sirianni is doing it.
I know.
a little
Hold on,
too
you
much
didn't let me
already.
finish. You didn't let me finish. So in 2017,
I'm gonna let you finish, but
who was the offensive coordinator? It was Frank Reich. Where did he go? He went to Indy. Who did he teach? Nick Sirianni. So I think a lot of that is going to come in. I think that aggressiveness is going to come in with 4th down calls. Like, it's just, you saw it right away. Like, he had 2 4th downs, he went for him.
When you believe in your offense, you always go for
Also,
it.
I feel like on that second one,
I can't hear anything you're saying.
On that
Taylor.
second one, you let Miles Sanders run it and not Kenny.
Yeah,
Gainwell.
I think but the thing is, too, they kind of committed to Kenny G being that 3rd down back. And when it comes to 4th down, he's going to be in there, I think. While I don't necessarily agree with it, you got to get the kid snaps. Like, you got to put him in that kind of situation, see what he can do. If he can't prove himself there, then you curtail a little bit and you put Sanders in.
My first note I have written down here for the game was weird single-digit numbers.
Yeah,
that shit was
very
throwing
bizarre.
me off left and right.
Especially like you were saying with Steven Nelson and Slay
being 2 and 3.
Yeah.
I didn't even know who was who for a second. Like every 5 seconds, I'm checking to make sure it's Slay, or I'm checking to make sure it's Steven Nelson. But you can kind of tell them apart.
I mean, just the fact that this season opened up on a opening drive touchdown to Devontae Smith is just, it was perfect.
That was
That
like
is
Pat's
everything we
like
needed.
dream.
Yes,
You've been talking about this for weeks.
I have.
You've been talking about that for weeks.
My
It came
game
into
notes.
fruition, and I'm surprised you didn't shotgun a beer at that point. But
Well, it's 'cause
it was great to see
It's
that.
not tradition.
That's true. That's not the
all you need
but
right here, people.
I'll tell you what, it was
Game notes.
amazing to see. It was beautiful.
It was fantastic because you finally see an Eagles pick panning out immediately, instantly, not taking a year to develop, not getting injured early in the preseason. He did get injured in the preseason. He worked through it. He came back, and he just fought through that adversity, and he looks fucking phenomenal.
Absolutely.
That was like the greatest thing to see because now you have that deep threat or middle threat, whatever he is, wherever he is, he will get open. You can see that. That opens up so much more for guys like Reagor, guys like even whatchamacallit, J-Jaw, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It opens up opportunities.
Unfortunately. J-Jaw's got to get some love, man, eventually.
If he does something, we'll love him.
He's going to have a good year.
It
It's
gives
very
you
easy
the
to be loved.
opportunity to actually scheme a little more for those guys because you don't have to scheme for Devontae. He will get open. That's fine. You let him do his thing. Everybody else you can scheme for a little more now. I think that really is something they were missing the past couple of years.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you had D-Jax last year, but he's old as hell now. He's washed up a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
D-Jax flip-flopping in the end zone and break his leg.
Also, we need
That was pretty fun.
to pay our respects to the punter. cannot pronounce his name. Is it
Yeah.
Sipos? I
It's
can't.
not that hard
You
to
had it written
pronounce.
down, right?
It's spelled. It's Siposs. I just don't know how to pronounce it.
I think
Sipos.
it's Sipos.
Well, whatever it is, what a day for him in his debut
Yeah,
as
oh
He
a
had a
punter.
great
God.
game, man.
He had what,
great
3
game.
within the 10-yard line?
Yeah, I mean, he was
1 on the 10.
he was
2
pinning
within.
them. It was
He
great
was
kicks.
fantastic.
I mean, that's what having a punter looks like.
That was
Listen,
a surprise, though.
Who
That
is
sorta
the Eagles
That sort of
punter?
came out of nowhere for me.
Well, after so many years of Donnie Jones, and I'm going to be honest, he did a fantastic job for all those years.
have a
It's
Donnie
great to
Jones
see
jersey.
them. It's great to see them come out and actually have a good punter because, like,
Cam Johnston wasn't great.
Yeah,
He was all right.
He was okay.
He was okay. He wasn't as bad as people like
Having
to say
a punter
he was.
is one of the most underrated parts
Yeah,
of
definitely.
football.
Absolutely.
Because
A
if
good
you can pin
punter-
someone deep, like,
Yeah.
you're good to go.
Yeah, I mean,
You
if
let the
you're-
defense go to
if
work.
you got people starting at inside the 10-yard line
Yeah.
every drive, like,
And
you're
you
gonna-
see it takes a toll. They only scored 6 points, and they
Yeah.
were in the first quarter
Yeah,
before the defense actually
Let's talk about
woke
the
up.
Falcons. I mean, they look
They look
bad.
bad.
They are a really bad
They
team.
just flat out died after the first drive.
the
I know
don't
first
even know
drive,
what
I was like, oh,
happened.
we're in trouble.
I know they scored another field goal after that, but they just looked
But
flat
that's all they
and
had,
dead.
man.
Yeah.
With just the 2 field goals and really nothing
And-
else.
But like John said, I mean, that's Matt Ryan. Like,
Matt Ryan with
I'm going to coin this now.
164 yards.
Let's get out the sponges because Matt Ryan's fucking washed,
He's
dude.
done.
He's
Like
washed.
he's just
There's
wash
just
him
no
away.
question.
You're really trying to make that a thing.
It just popped into my head. You know, I really like it. I'm gonna run with it, dude. Fuck it, right? But
Yeah.
he's
Cordell-
washed. He
yeah.
can't throw downfield like you saw it. Like I don't think he made a single pass attempt that was over 20 yards today.
just like such average bad numbers on the whole offense. He
Yeah.
got 164 yards for Matt Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Cordell Patterson leads the team in rushing
Oh,
yards
that's
with
a joke.
54.
That's a joke.
Calvin Ridley 51 yards. Kyle Pitts 31. Just
You hate to see that out of Pitts because like everybody expected him to be so good. But
And
it's like,
by the way, Ridley too.
Pitts is going to be special, but like that
they're gonna need a new
having
quarterback
Matt
before he's
Ryan
special.
as your quarterback sucks
Yeah,
right
it
now.
sucks.
Like
Not
Matt
very
Ryan even admitted it. He was like underthrowing the guy in training camp because he
Yeah.
wasn't used to how tall he was, how explosive he was, everything, how fast he was, especially for a guy of his size. He's used to Hayden Hurst, who's kind of just like more like Ertz, Goddard kind
Right.
of type, where he's just kind of rumbling down the field and you hit him where he is.
And for
But-
what it's worth, I mean, we shit on the offensive line for the penalties, but
They did a
only
great job.
one sack.
They did a fantastic.
I mean,
job
that's
besides the
also we
penalties.
can credit Jalen for some of that. I mean,
Yeah. Oh my God.
they pointed this out on the last show, but
Mhm.
I mean, it's obvious the dude knows how to move in the pocket.
Absolutely.
And the credit to Sirianni, he did a great job of calling plays to his strengths,
Mhm.
which is like it is something that's so simple that it shouldn't be like something you need to go crazy about. But so many coaches just don't do that. Like,
yeah.
give your guys the plays that they run the best, and that's exactly what he was doing with
But
Jalen,
that's
getting him on the
that's
move.
what makes a good head coach
Yeah.
a great
Yeah.
head coach.
Getting
I mean,
Jalen on the move is most important.
Yeah,
It's
you look
knowing
at guys.
knowing your players' strengths and their weaknesses.
Mhm. You
and
look at
adjusting to
guys
that.
that kind of started this, like Russ, and then you look at guys like Kyler Murray who also have success doing it. Like it's great to see
Great
someone
day
in
for him, by
Philly
the way.
and Vic.
He
Pearson,
threw
by
an
the way.
absolute missile today.
Yes, but Vic Pearson, by the way, who was here. Like you just love to see guys that actually can get into that scheme and work with it, and you love to see coordinators that actually are able to scheme for them.
Yeah, and
Competent coordinators
I also-
are
Yeah.
underrated
Yeah.
in the NFL.
I also feel like Jalen did a great job of deciding in what situation to run. Like he didn't overdo it,
Yeah.
and he also showed like obviously he has the willingness.
Mhm.
Like he did it when he had to. He didn't make any mistakes in that area. I thought he did a good job of getting down and getting out of bounds when he should, not taking any unnecessary
tell you
punishment.
what, Hurts' football IQ
Yeah,
already.
I mean, this is what people have been saying about him, man. I mean,
Intangible.
the questions have always been on the field for the people that doubt him. but like his football IQ, everyone says this guy's a gamer. He's so dedicated to his craft. I mean,
he's a clubhouse leader. And you know what? People always like to like make fun of that, like not make fun of that, but like underestimate it. They're like, oh well, this is a new guy. He's he just got into the league. Yeah. Like whatever. It's we'll see if he's a clubhouse leader. When you have veterans though coming out and saying, man, this guy is a leader. Yeah. I mean that is
not to
like
bring up this name.
Be overlooked.
Not to bring up this name on this podcast, but it's such a night and day difference from Carson. Yeah, because he just wasn't a vocal leader like that. Like you never saw him being the focal point in like a pregame huddle. It was always Malcolm. Yeah, getting. I don't know that he was the obvious leader of the team, but like you want to see a little bit of that from your quarterback.
Absolutely,
like, it definitely matters. And like you said, to see veterans coming out in such support of a guy so young, saying that he's a great leader, and you have Devontae Smith after the game saying, "quote." Talking about Jalen, he's a leader. When things are wrong, he's the guy who's picking everybody up. When things are right, he's the one telling everyone to keep pushing.
And who would know better about Jalen Hurts as a leader than Devontae?
Yeah, being an Alabama teammate.
I mean, this is something that is literally, I think, slept on. But Hurts has the entire package. I mean, he showed today he's a quarterback in the NFL, a very good quarterback. So far.
I mean,
but listen, he didn't go out there and shit the bed.
Exactly.
Which I think a lot of national people and a lot of casual NFL fans
like you brought up before we got into this, the rankings of quarterbacks. Some people had him listed under backups.
A lot of quote unquote respected writers in the league had him like 35th out of 32 or even worse.
I just want to know when this narrative began because I watched him in college and
you know what?
Aside from the one time he got pulled,
and that was in the national championship game.
But guess what, Vince? I actually love it. I love the hate. I love that he was not hated, but I love that he was slept on.
Yeah.
Also, because guess what? You know what? No pressure on him. He's just going to go out there and do his thing.
He was a quarterback that made it second round. Yeah. That's usually how people look at quarterbacks outside the first round.
I understand that.
And how many rushing yards did he end up with?
Jalen ran for 62 yards.
And I just want people to think about this for a second. The line for his rushing yards was set at 39.5.
Yeah, that was.
If you're not taking that over on that bet all season, you're a nut job.
Wait a minute.
If they keep underrating his rushing like that, you're making fucking straight cash.
Is Patrick Doyle, friend of the show, by the way, referring to last season's opener when he talks about the Eagles tying the Bengals last year?
That wasn't in the opener. I think that was week.
That was early in the season.
Week 3 or 4. Yeah.
All right, whatever.
That was when former Eagle Matt Pryor went. What was it? A false start on the field goal. Yeah, that was bad.
That tie almost had the Eagles winning the division. A lot of people forget.
That was the funniest part. That was the funniest. But that just shows how bad the NFC East is.
Oh man.
But
and they're going to be bad again.
Yeah, definitely. Check every week in on the prop for Jalen Hurts rushing yards, and definitely smash any over that isn't in like the 40s.
100%.
Because I mean, if he keeps running the way he did, he's going to be very successful.
Yeah, and like we said, he's smart. He's very willing to run, but he knows when to and when not to, and he's not going to get himself hurt, which is the best part. You could see today that he was getting down and maybe he made a couple contacts, but he knows what he's doing. But in addition to the 62 rushing yards, he got 264 throwing yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean,
and
quite a day.
You don't want to take this with a grain of salt. You kind of do. The Falcons have a terrible defense. We knew that going in. We knew that's why we all had faith that we could actually win this game.
Speaking of which, why the hell were we 3-point underdogs? This Falcons team did they really expect us to be this bad?
I don't understand like how they came up with that, but whatever.
Hey, listen, they got Kyle Pitts. Matt Ryan's a historic quarterback.
They have future Hall of Famer Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
And future Hall of Famer who should be
retired.
I'm
just saying, let's relax.
For those of you out there that don't listen to the pod, I predicted the Eagles to I said 10 games, so I think they're going to be a good team.
What the hell did I say? I forget even.
I don't remember.
I think you said like 7.
Make your pick now.
I didn't say 7.
I'm pretty sure you said 7.
I didn't say. I'm going to say 9.
That's fair.
And that's good enough to win the division. Although before Fitzmagic went down,
oh no, you did pick. I
thought this would be the year for Fitzpatrick to lead somebody to a division title.
Too much Fitzpatrick talk.
I know,
definitely too much.
I'm sorry.
Again, fantasy quarterback.
Taylor, that's my fantasy guy. I got to bring him up. Nobody cares about my fantasy team, though.
I guess let's look ahead as we take on the 49ers next week.
So I just saw Rap just tweeted that one of their starting cornerbacks actually just possibly tore his ACL. Kyle Shanahan revealed that in his postgame. Yeah. What does that do for them? Dude, that might put a nail in the coffin for them next week. Because, I mean, if they can't cover our receivers, and especially after the day they just had today, and the way Jalen was throwing.
Very bad news.
Line opens at +4 Eagles.
Love that.
Hammer that. I'd take the Eagles money line. I don't think Niners are a great team.
They're not.
And I mean, the way we look today, we look like a good football team.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts looks like a good quarterback.
The
Our run game, good.
Anytime
Defense,
you win in the
looking
NFL
fine.
32-6, you're doing something
I
right.
would like to see a better day out of our secondary.
Yeah.
But, like, for the most part, they played well, I thought.
I
It
mean, you
wasn't
had that
bad.
one great play by Slay, too.
Yeah.
That could have been a pick
Yeah.
easily. But again, Matt Ryan threw it a little terribly.
But this is why it's good to start
Being
against
Matt Ryan, yeah, that's what he does.
This is why it's good to start against a team that flat out stinks, like the Falcons, because you kind of get in a rhythm. You get going. Like, you saw the video that we played a couple minutes ago of the locker room going crazy. Like, you're getting chemistry going, and nothing builds chemistry better than winning.
Yep.
Winning
That is just
and Jalen
that is
Hurts
what it
being
is.
your QB.
Yeah.
That is what builds team chemistry.
But, like, it's good to just open up week one with a kick-ass win over a bad team to get everyone feeling it, feeling the vibes. You got Nick Sirianni gets his first win under his belt. Jalen's first win as a starter.
And by the way, we
well, no,
appreciate
that's not true.
We
I just lied.
appreciate everyone checking us out as Vince lies, which he tends to do.
I'm
from
a
time to
liar.
time. But guess what? It's never in a
Second
mean
win as a
way.
starter.
This is our first week doing the post game show here at Last Down Media, and we had a wonderful time, and we hope to get better every single week. But Vince, Quinn, and John Barchard, what they're doing, man, I mean, it is awesome. I love those guys.
Love being a part of it.
I love being a part of it. Those guys are true professionals, and they're true. I mean, they're the best at what they do.
We're going to the moon.
They are. Vince Quinn and John Barchard are the best at what they do. You will not find better Eagles content anywhere. Seriously, anywhere. I mean, they know their stuff, and it's just an honor to be even like a part of what they're doing with Bell and the Birdmen.
Hop on the bandwagon,
and
people.
by the way, it is one of the best names for a Eagles
very
podcast.
fantastic.
For
That
a
is true. I was
podcast,
jealous.
Like in general, Bell and the Birdmen. I mean, that is just like one of the best podcast names ever. So, I mean, yeah, we are so excited to be a part of the team. We're so excited to be with you guys every single week.
Can't
you
wait.
know, we're just getting into the flow of things, and week one victory. What better way to start things off?
Let's just do 17 of these. Just wins, feeling great.
Yep.
17 of those on the table, people.
And guess who should get a ring? By the way, if we go 17-0, and if the Eagles win the Super Bowl this year, I'm not saying they will.
If
Barchard and Quinn deserve a ring. Barchard and Quinn
rings
and,
for the
and
whole
Taylor.
Last Out Media family.
Producer Taylor can get a ring too, but I'm just saying, like Bell and the Birdmen. I mean, let's
Great
let's
show.
go. Let's
sure you
get
tune in.
this thing going. Make sure you subscribe, tune in, all that fun
Also,
stuff.
from the Nosebleeds.
And don't forget to check out our show too, From the Nosebleeds.
We recently just changed our Twitter handle. We're now Nosebleeds PHL, is it?
Yeah,
Nosebleeds
at
PHL.
Nosebleeds
At Nosebleeds
PHL.
PHL. You know
So
what?
check us out on Twitter. Got
We
a lot of
provide
good
the
content
most
on there.
entertaining content besides Bell and the Birdmen. How about that?
Yeah, we're up there. We're
We're
top 3 for sure.
It's 1A, 1B, but it's interchangeable.
Yeah,
At
there you go on the
Nosebleeds
screen,
PHL.
Nosebleeds
There you
PHL.
go. Please, check us out.
Yeah, check back on that Twitter every Tuesday night, maybe Wednesday morning when we post our links.
Mostly Tuesday nights. The link gets
Tuesday
posted.
nights.
Tuesday nights.
Producer Taylor says Tuesday nights, so
Then
that's what the hell
God damn it,
is.
it's Tuesday nights.
It's Tuesday nights.
Yeah, we get a lot of wackier on there.
Yes.
A lot
get
less
wacky.
focused. We did
That's
a
an
gr-
understatement.
I'm very proud of Seamus for staying on the rails today.
I'm going to be
giving
off the
some
rails
great
a little
analysis.
tonight because I'm off tomorrow. But that's a different
There we
story.
go. All right, well, any last
I'm going to
thoughts?
celebrate an Eagles victory tonight, baby. Let's
Any
go.
last thoughts on the game?
Let's keep that Rager Bomb tradition going. I got to
Let's
teach
do
it
it.
to those guys at the bar. If they're doing a podcast
Yeah.
at a bar, they got to be doing.
If
Rager
you're
Bomb.
watching
Last
this out
thoughts,
there,
you said?
yeah.
All right, my final takeaway is this: Nick Sirianni, he's for real. He's for
Yeah.
real. I like what I see week one. I think he's he was totally underrated when he first came here. People were shitting on him left and right for no reason. So I'm happy what I saw from Mr. Sirianni.
And watch out for Kenny G.
Kenny G.
Watch out for Kenny G.
Yeah, I'll end on the note that I began with. Jalen Hurts can throw the fucking ball. Read it and weep.
Yep.
All you haters and
Yep.
losers. 17-0 is on the table.
Wow, haters and losers. You got to go there.
First in the division.
All right, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you
Go
for
We'll
joining
see
us.
you guys. Check us out. We'll see you next week.